Hello, class. My name is Xavier Allison. I will be doing my presentation on listening and improving my listening skills. Okay, so why listening? Well, every day we have to listen. In order to communicate, there's listening and speaking, the two main things at least. A lot of times I like to speak more than listen. I hear something and I tend to react or respond to what that person said and just hear it and form a response instead of listening. So something I want to do is I want to try to understand people better. I want to hear things and listen to them from their point of view. I want to hear the background of things, fully listen to understand where someone is coming from, sort of put myself in their shoes, and maybe that'll help me become a better listener. Why I've also been in a lot of misunderstandings where I've had people tell me, "Oh no, I wasn't. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean that. I wasn't trying to be mean. Blah blah blah." So my misinterpretations have led me to a lot of arguments, disagreements that wouldn't have happened in the first place if I was listening a little more closely. Another reason I want to prevent conflict, arguments, all that, if at all possible. A lot of times with my girlfriend, we get in fights over the dumbest stuff just because we misunderstood each other or someone wasn't listening to exactly what they were saying, or the background was taken completely out of context. Little things where maybe listening a little closer could have been the difference. So I want to improve listening to prevent disagreements, to understand people, and just to get a better feel of where the person is coming from. Okay. How can I improve those things? A couple things that I can do to improve my listening skills as a whole. I can get better eye contact. Eye contact is really important for listening. I know this because as a coach, when I'm coaching the 7th and 8th graders for basketball, if they're not looking at me, I know they're not listening. Immediately, I say, "Oh, they don't care. They're not looking at me. They don't care what I have to say. They're not listening." So if I'm not looking at someone, I know that they're thinking the same thing. They're probably like, "Oh, he doesn't care what I have to say. Why isn't he looking at me? Oh, he must not care." So if I want eye contact when I'm speaking to someone, I should definitely give it to them. So eye contact is a big one for me to get better at listening. Another way, I could ask questions. Not questions like, "Oh, what'd you say?" Or I missed that. "What'd you say? I didn't hear you." Questions like, "Oh, where were you when this happened? Oh, who was that with?" Questions to further on the conversation. Questions to actually understand the situation that this person is telling you about. If you ask questions when you're confused, that can completely wipe out conflicts that would have happened if you didn't ask that question. So questions can be great for understanding, and they can be great for preventing things that wouldn't have happened in the first place. Okay, another thing, just be engaged. That goes right along with eye contact and asking questions. If you're not talking with the person, if you're not looking at them, it's clear you're not engaged. So when you're talking to someone, it can't be that much of your time. Just sit down, look at them, and listen. Not one ear out the other. Just fully listen to what they have to say. And lastly, active listening. Active listening is sort of what it sounds like. It's really doing your best to not just sit there and hear what the person's saying. It's to be involved with what the person's saying. It's to feel what the person's saying, to completely put yourself in their shoes and understand what they're saying. You're like, "Oh, okay. Well, why do you say this? Why do you think that?" Just really try and understand. Active listening is, in a way, understanding. Just trying to fully grasp what someone's saying. Okay. Another thing, big ears. No, I'm just kidding. But here's a picture for you guys. Basically, the summary of my presentation is, why do I want to get better at listening? I want to understand. I want to prevent disagreements. And I just want to get better at communication every day to prevent conflict. Ways I can improve: eye contact, asking questions, actively listening, and being engaged. All these things can help me become a better listener. Thank you.